Bonjour, mes belles amies. Bienvenue. Uh, Powerful Inc. Startup Stories. Wait, what? The show's in French? No, it's not. But I am chatting with Linda Leclerc from Quebec, my home foundation place of birth. And I just thought I would have some fun and bring a little bit of French into it. We've been chatting back and forth and just having such a great time. You guys are going to love, love, love Linda. What can I say about this woman, you guys? She, oh my gosh, has built these incredible institutions in her life. It's been her life's work all around yoga du rire, laughter yoga. If you haven't heard of it, go and find out about it. Go to Linda's links primarily, and get into all of it. But it is just so amazing. It's just laughing and really connecting to joy and keeping life light and happy. And so in Linda's career, she has accomplished so much. And I would say is sitting on these like incredible pillars of her work, and now is giving herself the opportunity to continue to explore who she is and bring forth and birth yet something else, something more again. So she's launching a new business. It's going to be branded under her name and allow her to play without labels in everything that she's done so far. So welcome, 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 Linda. I'm already covered in goosebumps. So excited to have you here.
Mia. Merci, Mia. See, I'm saying it in French.
C'est bon. We'll speak franglais.
Probably.
Oh dear. Is that a bad word?
No, I just choke with my own saliva.
On your own saliva. Well, it makes us laugh.
Ah,
Oh my gosh.
it happened.
It happened.
Hold on. I'm good now.
There we go. That's it. So we're just gonna laugh for an hour. Feel free to join us.
No, this is like it's funny because I had a group that I was working with. Was it last year? No, the first year that we were in confinement, and every week I had a session with them, and obviously they were remote, and every week after the second laughter yoga exercise, I started to have the hiccups.
Oh.
Every week. So every week it turned out like, okay, let's do the hiccup laughter. So, and it's, I can't remember. I think like I used to have a monthly segment on TV.
Fun.
And it happened, I don't know how many times, that just right before I'm going live, I'm joking.
And then does it clear, or do you work with it as the light goes on?
You can't ignore it.
You just can't.
You can't ignore
right?
it.
So you roll with it. It just becomes part of it, right?
Yeah.
Which is so great
I
because
play with it like I just did. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Fabulous. So tell us where you're at now, what you're excited, what are you launching?
Oh my gosh. I just because as I was telling you, the School of Laughter Yoga, L'École du Yoga du Rire, was born like I'm in my 20th 20th year of practicing laughter yoga. So I guess that I'm probably one of the senior members of this community because I have a few friends who've been practicing for 20 years, but they're all over the world. In Canada, I'm the senior, I'm the senior person. And over the years, like I've created programs that were focused on joy. And fun, and like just bringing more joy and bonne humeur, so good mood, because it doesn't require lots of things. It doesn't require, actually, it doesn't require anything to feel that joy in your heart. So 2 years ago, I created Planet Joie, so Planet Joy, and there you will find programs that you can do by yourself, because I organized, most of them are in French now.
Sure.
I'm translating, I'm in the middle of translating something, but it won't be ready for a few months. And I organized Le Sommet de la Bonne Humeur, which was
Mhm.
amazing. It was such a fun and really big project to work
Yeah.
on because
Online?
it was online
Yeah.
and I had speakers live from
Yeah.
France, Belgium, Canada. Where was the other one? I think that she was in Mexico. I can't remember, but like they were all French
Mhm.
and it lasted 10 days. So
Wow.
10 days with 2 sessions per day,
Mhm.
live on Zoom,
Mhm. Mhm.
plus the recordings, plus it was really,
Yeah.
but it was amazingly beautiful, great. This, I was exhausted once it was done, but I was like on a high,
Yeah.
and it brought me to develop something like Planet Joy,
Okay.
because this is just a few simple things that if we pay attention, like there is someone who's meditating, cardiac coherence, drawing, dancing, singing, cooking,
Mhm.
what was the other one? Like paying attention to emotions, the meditation. It was just, and of course, laughter.
Yeah.
But it was just so beautiful and it triggered something. So I've decided I'm going
Yeah.
to start a community around that
Okay.
because the nature of our heart is to be joyful.
Yeah.
And we tend to forget that because we're not
Yeah.
there, we're up here.
Yes.
We're stuck
Okay.
in like
Yeah.
everything that, oh, I have to do this, my responsibilities, like I have to take care of that, my job, my bills,
My laundry, my
my
groceries.
laundry.
Yeah.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
have to, oh my gosh, I have to wax my legs.
Walk the dog. Whatever it is. Yes. I'm obsessed with my eyebrows right now. It's like my
I can't see them with your glasses, you see?
yeah,
That's
well,
the
no,
thing.
just leave them
Because
on.
exactly. So that's the thing. You can
Problem
read them with your
solved.
glasses. Or your
Which
food.
goes to show like this, like we're laughing and we're just playing, right? So it's reconnecting to that childhood innocence where creativity opens up. Life is not that serious. We decide that it is as adults, and
You
if
make
you
it
need
serious.
to shake out of that and you don't know what brings you joy, just go to a playground and watch the children play, and you'll be
And go on the thing that you can go on. Like I don't know.
yeah, yeah,
I don't know if you have these swings in BC or
yeah,
wherever
yeah,
you're
yeah,
watching from, but I know that this place, like they had a swing, especially for adults. And
right.
I remember when I was in London,
Especially for adults. So how is that different?
it's bigger.
Just a
So
big
the
swing.
seat
Yeah,
is
yeah,
wider. So
yeah,
you
right.
like your otherwise your hips don't
The chains are
plastic and you don't want to break
yeah,
it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
these were just wider. And I remember going in a park in London, well, not actually not north of London, and there was this big round, it was kind of a saucer.
Yeah,
And this was a swing, but in a saucer. So
yeah,
I thought, ooh, that looks cool. I went and sat on that, and then you're like on your back
yeah,
looking at the sky.
yeah,
And the fun part was that I was able to sit on it. I was
right.
not able to
Get
leave the
off.
I wouldn't touch it.
Because it's kind of
I
concave. You get
laughed.
like,
Oh, yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I laughed so much. I'm my friend made a video because I was like, help me. Don't just stand there. Help me. I'm stuck. I'm gonna be here next winter. It's gonna snow over me. It's just and then I realized this is the kind of thing that we're not doing as adults
Yeah.
because kids do that. They jump in a pothole. If they see that, like they jump in it, like they're just
No judgment, no
we don't do
concern.
that because we
Yeah,
think,
no
oh, if I sit on
conservative.
that, I might get dirty. Oh, I might not be able to
Get up.
get up after. And this
And
is
we don't
bad.
like cater to adult play.
No,
So as you're talking, I'm thinking I've wanted, here's another idea for you, and I will come to it. Adult camp, adult summer camp, okay, on the lake with all the things, because those are some of my fondest memories of the early years. And also, like something that's kind of popular in North America are these rage rooms or axe throwing. right? Oh,
That's my damn it,
oh,
dog.
you, oh, so it's good to express that emotion, but where can we go to express the joyful and the silliness? And so, like, I find when
Exactly.
I'm sitting with my 5-year-old, play with me, mummy, and my adult brain wants to be like, oh, I don't do that. And then I'm like, no, let's drop in and let's meet her where she's at. And who cares? She doesn't care. She just wants to engage. So how can I
Exactly.
activate, right? Because we lose it. And in doing so, it kind of harms us more than it serves us to get serious and, you know,
Yeah, because seriousness
conservative.
doesn't bring creativity. It doesn't.
Yes, yes,
It doesn't.
exactly,
It's interesting
exactly.
because there are some rage rooms,
Mhm.
and I've noticed many years ago, I was driving in heavy, heavy traffic. And at some point, the car behind me, like there was a car next to mine, and he just zip, went in front of me. Like I just had just a little space there
Yeah,
because I didn't want to be too close to the other one because of the fumes.
yeah, sure.
So this one, like, zip, it just went like that. And it drove me so, I was so angry with that car. And I said, "Yeah, sure." And then I felt the anger raising in
Yeah,
me. And I
yeah,
thought, okay, let's just yell. So I was, ah. And in the car,
yeah,
it was so powerful. I
yeah.
could feel like even the windows all over me, like we're like, ugh. And I got scared by
Uh,
my own big loud
Emotional release.
and then I started to laugh
Yeah.
because I thought, oh my gosh. But laughing releases the emotions the same way, except it's more gentle. That's
Right.
the conclusion I made that day. So I've decided whenever I'm upset, I'm going to laugh loud. So
Laugh.
sometimes if I get frustrated, instead of I can't do that, so I'll
Right.
just at some point I hear myself and it's like, what are you doing, woman?
Sounds psychotic. It just evolves to the next.
Yeah. And seriously, the energy that that
Yeah.
that that I spread is way
Yeah.
like, sure, I'm upset. Sure, I'm like really seriously. But
Right.
instead of I'm like, I cannot not laugh after that, hearing myself like with that big, big voice, like,
Like a villain.
so that day when I did that for the first time, I've decided, okay, this is going to be the way that I deal with my frustration now, as
So,
much as I can.
like, this release of emotions is so critical of, I call them farts, because I'm immature at 41.
Well, you would be surprised how many people use and just say the words, people are laughing.
You just, because you gotta let it out. Because it literally bottles up inside like a bad gas. And
Yeah,
so that expunging of the emotions is so key. And what I really like about how you use laughter to kind of deal with all of the emotions is I'm thinking that the science behind it means that it's actually kind of healing and a more positive release that, and to each their own by all means, but in a rage room you're kind of focusing on anger and you're
yeah,
expunging that, and then after, I imagine you'd feel tired and like maybe satiated, but what is filling the cup back up
yeah.
after? Whereas the laughter will expunge that and then, fill the cup right up, and then you carry on with, like, expands your heart more.
Yeah. I think I have a feeling of, when you walk in a room, like if you're sitting in a room and someone walks in and they're really, really, really
Yes,
unhappy or they're
yes.
upset with something, they don't say a word and you feel
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah.
If someone walks in and they're happy and cheerful, you will feel it too.
Mhm, mhm.
So I noticed that whenever someone is yelling, whenever someone is like really, if they're shouting at something, you feel that vibration, that energy. It's like
Yeah,
it's hitting you.
yeah,
Instead of that, like, and sure, it's releasing, but that ball of I'm going to visualize this, that ball of red flaming energy hits you.
Yeah.
And that's
Hurts.
it hurts.
Yeah.
Because
And
I
shrinks.
whenever like we have an argument in the house,
Yeah.
and it happens, like
Of
if we
course.
have an argument in the house, the minute that the other person is like really upset with something, I feel it, and then it reaches me, and I don't know if maybe I'm not built properly for that, but I suck it in.
Yeah, of
And
course.
it's kind of mine, and
Yeah.
I don't like that, because this was not mine. I just inhaled it or
Yeah.
swallowed it.
Yeah.
So that's why the more I think about that, the more I think, okay, do this more often. So whenever you're really not happy with something, laugh it away like this. And then tell the person, you know what? This was really not nice.
Right.
And I feel relieved.
Yeah. And come from like a more grounded, peaceful place than if you had given into one of the stronger emotions, right?
Yeah. Anger is very, very, very powerful.
Right. Yes.
And that's not the right word. It's violent.
Violent. It's strong, right? It has a very strong energy that like you said, changes the frequency of what's around you, pushes
And we
people
always
away.
it's that. And most of the times it's coming from fear of something, or like fear of
lack of joy.
lack
Lack of joy.
I don't know if it's a lack of joy when we're experiencing, like, this is just normal.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you're frustrated with something, it's because you lack, I don't know, recognition, someone respect,
an unmet need.
Yeah. And it's normal, so we have to not ignore it. I don't put a blanket of laughter over these feelings. Sometimes I just ask myself, okay, so why am I feeling like that? Why am I feeling this? And if I can't, like, sometimes it's just like right there. So if it's like that, then the minute that I see myself like this, like sometimes it lasts longer. And then I end up laughing just a little bit, but I step aside. I just take a step back. Okay, what happened there?
So
because I'm a good girl, I'm waiting in line, and there you are, thinking that you're more important than I am, so you go in front of me like this. I don't like that. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I saw no, it was Tuesday. I was coming back from I have a radio something every week, and I could see a car that was doing this, and he went back in my back, and I just did this because he was going to go in front of me, and he was doing exactly what I don't like, but to all the cars behind me. So I just did this. And I thought, I'm sure that he saw that I did that.
Oh, thank you. So in the 20-year career of creating, like, how does it feel to look at what you have materialized, and not necessarily like in the, but like you've birthed some incredible things, and how does it feel to look at that?
Well, I'm very proud, very, very proud. And sometimes, like, I was cleaning, because after 20 years, you keep so much.
Yeah, right.
And I was thinking, okay, time to make room for new things. And I was cleaning my filing cabinet the other day, and I saw things that I thought, oh, that was good. That was really good. And it's just ideas that I never implemented because I focused on something else. I'm sure it's the same. It's the same for many, many of your listeners, because we have ideas and then life happens. Or we have ideas and then we have to focus on something. So I call this my the parking lot.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so if and when I have time. And so these could be really fun to play with.
Mhm.
And I have so many things there that I think that I have for over 20 more years.
Of next level creation to
Yeah,
release.
yeah. No, but it's like, and looking at that, like you see this in the back, like
Yeah.
I co-wrote a book with my colleague and friend in France, Corinne Cosseron. It was funny because this was way back in 2010. And I told her one day we were talking on Skype. We were using Skype then, and we were talking on Skype, and I was telling her, well, I need to save some time to write my book because I've been having this idea to write a book for so long. And she says, oh yes, what would be the topic? I said, well, laughter yoga. She said, really? Me too. And then we looked at each other for like it was pause, crickets.
Yeah.
And we both said comment at the same time, like, let's do it together.
Right.
And it was, I know that this book is way better because of her, and she's saying the same. It's better because of me. So this was a big accomplishment, and it was published in France, and it's the second edition. So who knows what life it will have, but this was a big, I remember the night that I finished, like the night that we finished the writing and we sent the manuscript to the editor.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah. Winning gold.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So this was a big thing. And then creating the first app,
Oh.
that was something else too, because there's nothing like that. So it's called Rire Plus in French, but it's a bilingual. So you see, if you want to listen to a track in French, you can switch to French.
Okay.
And if you want to listen to it in English, it's called Let's Laugh, ! Laughter exercises. So this was also something like I thought, oh my goodness. And I have to say that I've created so many things that never like didn't exist before. And this makes me really, really proud.
Something truly new.
Yeah.
In service, in alignment.
Like manuals and tools and things that are used all over the world now. It's, yeah.
How or what was it like to have, clearly a very creative entrepreneur, and to how do you know which ones to run with? Which ideas to run with and which ones to parking lot? Just intuition, logistics of the moment. What's that like?
For years, I think that it was intuition. And I had friends that I was talking to, like I was talking to my friends. Oops, sorry. I was talking to my friends about my ideas, and sometimes they were saying like, "Oh, I'd love to have that." And if the right person or the right resource fell into my plate, then it was a sign.
Okay.
Like for the app, I was considering that after I met my accountant / friend, and he said, "I have a friend who's like he could help you with that because that's what he's doing for a living. I'll put you in contact, put you in touch." And Francois, sure enough, like he was excited about my idea and he wanted to help. And I was blessed because he helped me and he was so patient, and he had ideas and he wanted to do this for a low cost. So this was my budget as well.
Yeah. So these collaborations help fulfill some of the ideas, right? Because
like the Sommet de la Bonne Humeur or the two online programs. I have one that I built. It's called Chaque jour la joie, so everyday joy, and the other one is S'entraîner à la joie, so train yourself to joy. And I had these ideas that I thought, well, is this a book? Is this I don't know. And then a friend who's also a coach told me, well, we're starting to create something and we would love to host your programs. Would you be willing to work with us?
Let me go make them. I'll be right back.
Yes. And it was like the way that they prepared everything, like it was a step by step. I knew that, okay, so is this going to be something that people are going to read? Is this going to be an audio? Is this going to be a game? Is this going to be a visual? Is this going to be a video? What is it going to be? And like, it was kind of a Tetris type of thing.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, fitting the pieces. Yeah.
And because of them, this was born. And this year, I took everything from there and I've re-recorded all the videos and updated the stuff, and it's going to be available in a few weeks.
Amazing.
On Planet Joie.
On Planet Joie. So is this the new business? It's the Planet Joie website?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm adding to this. I'm also training leaders. So I'm teaching people to lead laughter yoga sessions and create their own laughter clubs. And once they're leaders, then I can teach them to become a teacher. And I've started 4 years ago. It was in 20, yeah. Oh my gosh, it's almost 5 years ago. I've started a program called the Masterclass. And this was to bring like their experience and expertise to the next level, because we're training them to do things, but I wanted them to be a bit more professional. So to do that, I had to create this program. And that's something else that I'm very, very proud of. Very proud of that.
Yeah. So like, because in facilitating a laughter yoga session, there's certain leadership qualities.
You need to be able to feel the group. Sorry, I had to plug the computer. You have to be able to feel the energy of the group, like sense, like, okay, who is the positive leader? Who is the negative leader? Who, like, how can I, so to juggle that, this is an art.
Right. Yeah. To meet them where they're at. And so you want to raise good leaders as part of that, right?
And I want to make sure that they thrive and they blossom. They become like, if you have a dream, then you can.
Yeah.
There's some steps that, like, stop thinking small, but be aware of everything that's there.
And so how is the internal journey now? Like you know, as I've said, you've got this incredible portfolio you're standing on, but now you're evolving into yet another version of yourself and launching another new business. And what's going on internally, and how are you navigating that journey? Like, is it helpful with the past experience? Does it feel like you have to figure things out all over again?
Yeah, it's interesting that you asked me this question, because I was trying to, I was listening to an audio meditation for, like, to help me with a vision, to get a vision of, like, I'm working with a woman. She is amazing, by the way. If any of you need someone to help you with your projects, she is amazing. I've hired her for the Sommet de la Bonne Humeur, and I've been working with her since then. Her name is Starlight Mundi, and her business is I Bottle Lightning. Really, it's she's great. But she sent me an audio, and I was trying to do that, and I said, I can't see anything. Like you say, like you walk in the woods and there's like you see trees and you see la 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 and feel everything. And then you open the door and there's your vision. I told her, I said, I keep seeing trees. That must not be my vision. No, so I can't see it. It feels like I've accomplished so much. What's left? What's left? Where do I want? And I have these Post-its on the wall right there.
Okay.
And it's like, what is the next step? Because these things have been on my mind for years. The Haha Sisterhood is something like I created this community in 2009. And like we're there, it's like, but it hadn't evolved, like it hadn't blossomed the way that it could. And I was thinking, am I putting my energy to make this grow bigger? Or am I putting my energy into creating, I don't know, something else? I'm just at that corner, like you see, and a cinematographer friend of mine, I remember after finishing to write my book in like years ago, I was talking to him, and I was telling him it's very interesting because it feels like I have no more words. I have no more words in me. I just finished writing my book. And he says, well, hold on. The womb, la matrice, the womb needs to rest.
Mm,
So leave, like, give it some time,
mm,
because I was writing blogs,
yeah,
and I said, it's funny because
I
it
know.
feels like I'm dry, like I no longer have words. It's like I'm trying and no,
Mm,
no. So I said, give it time. The womb needs to rest. After a while, you'll be able to. So it feels right now
in
that I'm
another
in that
stage.
state. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm at that
yeah,
stage. I
yeah.
just need to rest and wait, and it will come. I know it will come because it always does.
Absolutely. Yeah, because you're very creative. Like clearly, I can tell from you and reading through your life story, your website, and all the things that you've done. There's a lot coming out. So it's kind of, I'm gonna say, comforting to know that, you know, one, that there's time to do the things we want to do, the things we want to accomplish in life, that there isn't scarcity around it, and to really trust yourself, and then to be okay if you're feeling not certain and not like exploding like fireworks with the next ideas, that's an indication of needing to get quiet to allow some new creativity to come
Yeah,
through.
yeah. And it's like I've I've said that in the past, like when it's time for me to channel something, I will.
Mhm,
I call this
mhm,
channel because I'm sure that
mhm.
it was all
Yeah,
there
yeah, yeah,
somewhere.
yeah. You're
That
just a portal that it comes through the
it's
right
like
programming.
the ideas are traveling and they're flying all over.
Right.
And
Yeah,
if you catch one, then
yeah.
and sometimes if you take too much time
Uh-huh,
to bring
uh-huh.
it to life, then
Yeah,
going to go away and someone is going
that's
to,
it.
you still have it in your hand but you're not doing anything with it, so it flies away and gets to someone else. And then how many times have you seen that,
Mhm,
like you had
mhm.
an idea and then someone takes it and they're
Yeah,
doing something with it
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. That
So
that'll
I know that
happen, but
they're flying, so they're flying and they're just looking for owners. Who is going to bring me
right.
to life?
Yeah.
Like, so it's really that, it's like les spermatozoids.
Yeah.
Which one is going to fertilize my soil?
1 in 4 trillion, right? So, there's a lot. So that's so wonderful because that speaks into the abundance of how
Exactly.
much is available, and so for myself, I am very reluctantly and painfully, but willingly letting go and just playing with the different things in my business and creating, just allowing for more creation rather than trying to push any one boxy idea that I have that I'm like convinced will change this person's life.
Mm.
And that's it's great because now I can just kind of create for the sake of creating without the attachment that any
And
one of
having
these
fun.
offers, yeah, mean anything. And I can just experiment with myself that way too, to find where my groove is. So, like, you clearly found a groove in laughter yoga, yoga du rire, and it sounds like it's going to influence what's coming out next with Planet Joy. But like you're opening up some space for, you know, expressions, as I said at the beginning, kind of without labels. And if we can apply that as a startup, we can um, probably, I don't know, speed things up or just, tap into your beautiful energy portal of ideas that you described so picturesque, to see, and then you can kind of sit in there and decide instead of like grasping at ones that
Yeah.
you think are going to get you anywhere, right? So it's a very empowered way of approaching business, and not defining yourself in any great way, not
No.
constricting yourself.
Obviously, if you need to make money to pay your bills, then that's different because you can still do that, but you're also going to devote or dedicate some of the time, like of your days, to what's bringing money to my business.
Mhm, mhm,
And that's
mhm,
the rational decision. And that's
mhm.
important to do them as well. And then what I've been doing is like, okay, so I'm going to dedicate like 5 hours of my day to this, and
Mhm.
2 hours of my day to creating, just playing, just editing
Mhm.
my podcast, like making videos for TikTok or
Mhm.
whatever,
Mhm.
responding to people. Like this is
Mhm.
just playing and having fun, or drawing, doing something that I can share with the people in my community. Just I did this drawing, you can color
Right.
it,
Right.
whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But
So, like that's the putting the CEO hat on, right? And
yeah,
really leading yourself
yeah,
through to,
it's you
prov
have to do that at some
right,
point.
right? At what point?
You do that. You have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, as a full-time entrepreneur, there's mouths to feed, there's bills to pay,
Exactly.
right?
And if you want to, like, this is something that I've learned over the last 2 years. If I want to grow and develop into something, I have to. I always thought that you have to invest also, but
Mhm.
for years, and I know so many people who told me that they did exactly that. Like, oh, I bought this program because I thought I could learn something. Oh, I hired this person for that. All these, and I know that we're Canadian. I'm
Mhm.
French Canadian. So
Mhm.
the American way, sometimes it's just like, no, that's not the way that I'm selling things.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
no, it's not. And but then you see that it gets results. For some people, it
Mhm.
works really
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
So you're listening to that. I know that for myself, I get as much as I can from their free programs.
Mhm.
And then if I like this, and if I want to learn something specific, instead of buying the whole shebang,
Mhm.
I just hire someone for this in particular. And then I hire specialists. So far, so good. I've paid for coaches that,
Yeah. Yeah. Fizzle. Don't. Yeah.
you know, and it was like, just for me, it was a waste of time, money, energy.
Mhm.
But I guess that I was there. And when you're not sitting quietly to receive,
Mhm.
then this is what could happen. Oh, I have to do this. I'm going to hire someone because I need to, and then you lose yourself. And moolah,
Right? With the distraction of trying to fill something that is
I should
there.
be doing that. I should be making
Yeah.
money. I should, or why am I not? And they're there with their beautiful flags saying like,
Mhm.
oh, I have the recipe for you. I'm not saying that they're not good. I bought something a few weeks ago, and I sent an email to the woman and I said, wow, you are really good at selling. I want to learn that from you, because
Right.
I was not going to buy it. And guess what I did?
Yeah, I bought it.
And I thought, I need to learn that from her. And if I
Uh-huh,
could
uh-huh,
replay her webinar, I would. Too bad
uh-huh,
she didn't have replays, but
uh-huh.
that's something that we need to learn. So sometimes it's just something that the other person is doing that we need to learn. How
Mhm.
to sell myself, how to sell my programs, how to sell my programs.
So what are some things you've learned about that? Because, you've had success, and so I'm gonna assume that the money has been, um,
Like this.
yeah, like this,
I
right?
have
As
good
a
years that
full-time entrepreneur, sometimes taking contracts, sometimes living off the business money, like that.
mm,
And so do you have a few core offers that are like your stability?
I know that I'm always having a look every 6 months. I'm having a
Okay,
look at
right.
what do I spend my money on? Like,
Mhm,
what programs am I paying for every week or every month or
mhm,
every year? What do I
mhm,
need? So if I don't need something, then so I cut
mhm,
the expenses that I don't need to,
mhm,
like where I don't need that. Like, for example, I remember that I was paying for a subscription and I thought, I'm not
right,
using it. Like, I've
right,
used it like for 3 months, a year and a half ago, and I still
yeah,
pay that. No, no. So I told them, I said, I'll be back, just not
mhm,
now.
mhm,
Um, so that's one thing. The other thing is, like, be careful with where I spend my money, and don't buy something just like that. Um, and I know that I have seasons in my business. Like right
right,
now, it's a very busy season.
mhm,
In March, January, February, whenever like people start to get depressed
Hmm.
or feeling blue, it's busy for me.
Hmm.
So I know that I need to make sure that I have energy and I take care of myself
Hmm.
and I allow some personal time in my week,
Hmm.
and keep focusing on what counts.
Yeah.
Like I
So
know
it's
that right now
like,
I need to focus on bringing my masterclass program in English because I've been teaching
mhm,
it in French,
mhm.
and there's a demand. There's a
Yeah,
need for
yeah,
that.
in demand, yeah, sure.
So I've started it, and now
Yeah,
I need to put the full speed. Like my concentration is on that.
yeah, to get it out to market because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
desired, and then it can reach such a larger,
Yeah. And this will bring money. So,
yeah,
like, it's
right.
okay for me to pay to hire someone to help me with something. Do
Hmm.
this while I'm doing that. Oh,
Hmm.
and that's also one other thing that I've learned
Hmm.
over the years.
Yeah.
Where would my time be more beneficial?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it to, I don't know, file things? Is it to answer emails? Is it to, like, sometimes it's like, no, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like my light shines when I'm with a group, when I'm
Hmm.
recording this, when I'm doing that. So this is like, and this is where I'm bringing more money for my business.
Hmm. Hmm.
So question yourself, should I hire someone for this task and pay them,
Right.
I don't know, 20, 30, $50 an hour for that, and me not having to spend 4 or 5 hours on that?
Hmm.
It'll be
Hmm.
done.
And so do you have a little Rolodex? Do you have of people to call on, or do you have like
A few,
official team,
a
or do you
few,
just
I
kind
have two
of
people. I
on
have two people
demand?
working with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And I have a few people that like I delegate things
Okay.
to them.
Yeah.
And with IA, like the writing
Yeah.
part, that's kind of scary because I was hiring a young woman to just sometimes especially if I'm driving a lot, like
Yeah.
these last few weeks, I was driving a lot. So sometimes it's like, I don't feel like writing. So I was calling her and I was saying, okay, so could you just start an article for me on that? And just
Hmm.
do the research for me and send me the data that you found and I'll work with it. So I
Hmm.
was hiring her for her for that. But now you can just ask Chat GPT,
Right.
what are the basics?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I adapt it because
Yeah.
it's not my own. But you'd be surprised sometimes. Like I was asking a friend of mine that I asked him write this in so I asked ChatGPT, write this in Linda Leclerc's way, or what
Uh-huh.
would Linda Leclerc say about that? And
Well,
it was kind of not bad
yeah.
because I write lots of exclamation points and
Yeah, I
oh, go
bet.
get this, and you got this, and you know what I do? Well, I'll tell you. And it was kind of similar to my tone.
Which is, so I finally opened a free account in ChatGPT and I tried it out and I didn't put very much in, and it gave back some good sounding stuff. And I
Oh yeah.
like resistant because all the sci-fi movies and robot
Yep.
technology taking over. But I'm a solopreneur, I'm a mom, I work full time, and I don't have any team right now. So it can help with time saving. It can become like um like you said, a leverage of time for what could be a money-making activity, because if
Yeah.
I'm using it for
And this is
marketing.
the kind of tool that you want to use that
Yes.
because it's
Yeah.
helping you. So I was just feeling bad for the other person
Yeah,
because
of course.
I felt like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know anymore. But the two people, like I have a team of two, but mind you, it's recent. It's only over the last 2 years that I've hired them. In the past, I had a VA for like a few hours a month.
Yeah.
Um, and then I had coaches and I had like graphic designers who were
Okay.
just once in a while whenever
Or
I was
certain projects had the
something. Yeah.
support around them,
But
but
they
largely,
are regular now. So I pay them like X amount of
salary.
hours every
Right.
month, and
Yeah.
they're working with me. They've been working with me for 2 years. And
Mhm.
I'm sure that because of them, I I did this because
Mm-hmm.
during pandemic, I was scared for the last 24 hours. All my events, like all
Right.
my groups, like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
all were gone.
Yeah.
And it felt like, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to pay my bills? And after 3 months, I seriously, I started to be busy. And I was working. Sometimes I had to get up at 4 because I was working with a group in Europe virtually
Yeah.
in the morning. And then
Yeah.
at lunch, I was working with a group in Montreal. And then in the afternoon, I was working with a group in Regina or Saskatchewan or wherever up west, because they were like the time difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some days, like I had 3 different
Yeah.
continents working with me.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah. And the accessibility as a result of going virtual.
We
Right.
And at the end of the day, even if you're speaking with a group at 6 or 7 or 8 at night, you just turn off the light and there you go. You're in your living room. You don't have to fly or take the train or drive.
Yeah. Saves a lot of time
And energy and
and
money.
energy and money and all of, yeah. Yeah.
Sure, it's not exactly the same, but
Yep.
it's the next best thing.
Well,
So
and that leverage, right? Because then you can reach more people, which can grow your impact and allow all that travel time, I would say, then can go into the creative time to produce other things.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that year I recorded so many videos. I was live on
Right.
Facebook every day for 60 days.
Wow.
I was laughing with people. I
Yeah.
created the urgence rire, so kind of emergency laughter. We had like 5, 6 sessions a day. People in need of like, okay,
Yeah.
let's breathe and laugh because
Yeah.
this is scary what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Instead of worry and instead of
Yeah.
let's laugh it off.
To be a light throughout all that.
Yeah.
And plant
Actually,
the
we have to be like that right now. Someone posted something yesterday. I did a video for Halloween. I was wearing a costume and I just did the witch laughter.
Yes.
And I was just like, let's play. Today is the day to play. So
Yes.
if you don't have a costume, just wrap your head with toilet paper and pretend you're a mummy. So every time that you look at yourself in the mirror, you're going to laugh.
Yeah.
And someone said, well, you're not writing anything about what's going on in Israel and Palestine and Gaza, and that's a massacre and it's awful. And I said, you're right. I don't write about that. I don't talk about that because this is not bringing anything to bring, like it's not bringing anything positive to what's going on. What I'm doing is I'm making sure that I keep my light on and I'm helping others to breathe and to keep their light on. Because the more light there is in the world, the more love there is in the world. Well, because when you're laughing with someone, you cannot fight.
Yeah. Some
Go
resilience.
from there to here.
Right? Yeah. To cope and to help us navigate this without losing ourselves in it and becoming part of like the toxicity.
No. Yeah, because it's there. I feel it.
Yeah.
I experience the same
Of course.
feelings and fears as everybody right now. I worry about the environment. I worry about everything, but I'm thinking, what good is it going to bring to the world if I go under a rock and if I stay there and if I complain or if I like just it doesn't bring anything good to the world.
And like you said, like joy is the portal to creativity. So the more that we maintain that, especially through the hard times, who knows what somebody in one of those classes may now grab as an idea that could completely.
Not only to creativity, but to love.
Yeah.
Because when you're in here, you're not in there judging, not liking, hating, evaluating, like you're in here.
Yeah.
And your heart doesn't like it, just love, 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 love,
The universal language, right?
It's like,
Yeah. So where did this start from? Where did this idea, where did Linda Leclerc come in to laughter yoga? Let's go back to the beginning as we kind of come to the end of the
Yeah.
because it's clearly like so aligned. And I don't, and so like, was this you? Did you become this? It's your passion. The way you speak it is like breathing. It's so natural. It exudes from you, right?
It's funny, yeah. It's really like this is I think that I was always a cheerful person.
Mhm.
And it's funny because I had a guest on my podcast a few weeks ago, and the guy was saying, "Well, I used to call you my big laugh, my laughing sister when we were students at university."
Ah,
And I said, "That's funny because you would have met me a few years
before
after
that,
that, and I became a
after.
very serious person. I had jobs where it was not seen very well, like positive to be laughing.
Mhm.
I had my boss, I remember telling me that you're going to have to become a bit more serious if you want to get in a higher position. And I ended up getting in a higher position at some point. So I was executive director of a hospital foundation, and um,
Right.
I was cheerful. I was a
Yeah.
smiling person, but I was no longer laughing like
Yeah.
very like
Yeah.
laughing.
Yeah.
Um, and I had responsibilities. I have
Yeah.
responsibilities. I have people working under my supervision. I have responsibilities.
Mhm.
So in 2002, 20, like, yeah, at the end of 2002, I had a car accident, not something big, just something small. I was stuck in traffic, and the car behind me didn't see that I didn't start to move. So he just poof in my rear end. He rear-ended me. That's it. My car. And I ended up with an injury in my neck. So
Yeah.
the whiplash is here.
Yeah.
And after a few months of physiotherapy, they told me that, well, this will have permanent damage.
Damage. Right.
It's deal with it because it will be there for the rest of your life. And one day that I was really in pain, I was waiting for the physiotherapist to get me at the clinic, and
Okay.
then I started to cry because I felt really lousy that day, and it felt like I'm in pain. Things are so hard, and it's like I can't move my head anymore, and I don't sleep well, and and that I didn't want people to see that I was starting to cry, so I grabbed a magazine, opened it to hide my face. First thing that I saw was this picture of a beautiful blonde woman with a wood spoon in one hand and a rubber chicken in the other one, and she was like this. And the title of the article was "Laugh It Off." So I took this as a personal message. I thought, yeah, maybe I'm taking things way too seriously right now. And reading the article, she was describing, like, they were describing people at work, like the stress part. Recognize me there. Then they were describing the benefits of laughter. And I asked myself, when is the last time that I really, really laughed? And I couldn't remember. And that made me so sad because I remembered how amazingly great I felt after laughing.
Yeah.
That I felt so alive and full and
Free, right? Just
and then they were describing a laughter yoga session, because I remember in 2002, 2003, laughter yoga was like what to me, like
right.
laughter was, and yoga,
Right.
it was
That's
not.
right. Yep. Yeah. How do
But
they
we
go
combine
together? Yeah.
breathing. So that's the part of yoga, and laughter yoga is the breathing and stretching. That we don't do postures or anything like that, but we breathe a lot and we stretch when we breathe.
Right. Right.
So that's the yoga part. And
Yeah.
actually, when you do yoga, there are some breathing exercises that are quite similar to laughing. When you do the Kapalbhati, that's it, the
Yeah.
breathing, the diaphragm. When you laugh,
Yeah.
it's actually that, but faster.
Right. Yeah.
So you see,
Yeah.
and it just triggered my, like, I got curious about, like, what is this? And I saw that you could train yourself to become a laughter yoga leader. And I thought, well, if I can learn it for myself and bring it to the community where I'm, like, to the groups where I'm working, maybe it will make things easier. So I went and took the leader training. And at first I was not convinced that this could work because I was a serious grown up.
That's right.
And to be asked, like, okay, you're going to say your name and laugh, where you're from and laugh, and what you do for a living and laugh.
Right.
I remember thinking, you're joking, right? no, no, I'm not going to say that. This is stupid. This
Yeah,
is
fake
silly.
and fake laughing, right? So it's like
No.
forced, it's not.
But what happens when you hear someone laughing and you know that you're supposed to be laughing? When my turn arrived, like I giggled and I was laughing, and my turn, I had trouble to say where I was coming from because I was laughing too much.
Um,
And when we finished, like the group, when we finished, it was about 15 people. I had tears like rolling my eyes, and it's, oh my gosh. Okay, I was able to laugh. And then we did he talked for the morning, did blah, 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 blah. And then we did the exercises. And when we did the laughter meditation, for that, it's like, I call this un fou rire de dortoir. So it's like it's like when you're in bed with a bunch of friends and you start to laugh and you cannot stop.
Stop, yeah.
This guy was not far from me and he started to laugh like, it was so low. I started to laugh like, what's that? And I started to laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. And I was laughing so hard. And at some point it felt like, it was just delicious. And I thought, okay, it worked. And that night I was staying at my friend's place and I didn't feel any pain in my neck. So I was totally convinced. Not only did I laugh, but the pain in my neck, like it was no longer as stiff. I could feel a bit of pain, but not as much. And it was more like flexible. So I decided there and then that this would stay in my life.
Right.
It took me a few years though before I actually grew my business with it. Probably it started probably in 2004 ish.
Yeah. Yeah. Navigate and learn and, become a product of the
because I started
product.
a laughter club and the laughter club was meeting weekly. So I met people there and people were asking me, well, could you do this at my workplace?
Right.
And, yeah. So one thing led to the other. And in 2005, I became a laughter yoga teacher. I started to train teachers, and then I was getting more and more hired. And 2009 happened, and I decided, okay, so that's it. I'm doing it full time.
And quit your job and went in to the business.
I was working part-time I was working 4 days a week from 2004 to 2007, and then 2007 to 2009 I was working 3 days a week. And then I thought, okay, I'm ready.
You're ready. Yeah.
Mind you, the first 2 years I was not making lots of money because I was reinvesting everything.
Okay. That's important, right? To recognize the longevity of coming to a place of a robust, sustainable, self-led business is not some overnight success situation. It's not some romantic, $10,000 in an hour type of thing. It's
that's the kind of promises that make me sick.
Right?
When I see like make 10,000 a month, like in 60 days. Or a week.
Because there's so much business is like, it's so much more than the creative idea, and it's yourself too. And when it's something that you love, it's very personal, so you have to grow.
Yeah, because sometimes you might be having the perfect thing for a client and they're just not ready. They don't have the money, they don't have the budget, or it's not the right time of year or whatever. That's what was happening in 2004. From 2004 to 2009, I had lots of times where I was waiting for, that's why I went to get a job, because I thought, okay, so they're not ready. So I have these gigs that like they're just pending, and people get discouraged. This is something that I noticed over the years. If they don't feel like this is not sustainable, well, who said that you have to be full time? You can have a part-time job next to it and still develop your business. I strongly recommend that. Otherwise, you're going to lose passion for what you want to do. Like your mission with your business is so important. It is so important. But don't let life like, I'm not making enough money with this. Go find a job. Be an honest worker. There's nothing like, when I was working for this group, like it was not something glamorous or anything. Like I was
Mhm.
delivering the programs, like I was training and I had other things. It was interesting. It
Mhm.
was not something that I got bored, but it was not my things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so like I love giving space and permission that entrepreneurship isn't defined by anything but yourself.
Mm.
And if there's space to have some consistent money coming in, it takes a lot of pressure
Mm.
off the business, which keeps some joy in the business. Because if you can have fun in it, then you're gonna want to keep doing it,
Exactly.
right? Without um, without a pressure on it or a need, like a
Yeah.
desperation.
Yeah. Otherwise, you have to give up your dreams.
Yeah,
Saying that, I remember that I was coming back from that workplace. I was done, like it was an 8 to 4
yeah,
type of job, and I was driving back home making dinner, and then after dinner, I was going in my office working for 2, 3 hours
right.
on my
Yeah,
things,
yeah,
following up on things and
yeah.
building. Just sometimes it was not 3 hours, sometimes it was less.
Hmm.
And on my day off, like I was completely working there.
Hmm.
And this was fun
Yeah.
because I had the idea, okay, so I'm making money there. I'm covered to pay my bills, to
Hmm.
contribute to the household. And
Hmm.
and my husband was okay with that. He was saying, well, because I said, well, I'm not watching TV with you guys.
Yeah,
I prefer to do this.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm doing these days
Yeah.
myself. But I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
I
because
just, I'm
that's
like,
your passion.
yeah, yeah, my playground.
So when my friends asked me, so when are you going to retire? I said,
Right.
I think I retired in 2009. When I decided that I was going to be full time in my business,
Yeah.
because most of people when they retire, they say, well, I'm going to do this when I retired. Well, I'm doing
Hmm.
what I wanted to do when I retired.
Hmm. Yeah.
Very good.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, Linda, that was just so incredible. I'm thrilled beyond to meet you and to know you and to maintain a
I
continued
am
relationship.
grateful, grateful,
So
grateful.
grateful. Yes. Ma belle sœur. I can't wait to come on your show next week, you guys. We're gonna, be doing some stuff together, and who knows what the future holds for us. I love your energy, Linda. I want to stay in it, and
I can't wait to have you as my guest.
ditto. That's gonna be so great. So have a great rest of your day. I can't wait to share you with my audience and my world, and just continue to hold you in my heart.
Me too, Mia. Mia Franco?
Yeah.
Franco?
Hmm.
Is
Yeah.
that your maiden name or is that
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
okay,
I mean,
good.
yeah. Yeah.
Because so many sisters, like when they get married outside of Quebec, they take their husband's name and they just
Right. Yeah. No, I'm gonna hold on to it.
power, sister.
Um, à bientôt, ma belle.
À bientôt, belle journée. Merci. Mouah.